gonna have to take off your training wheels if you want to keep up with me.
Okay, so as you saw, some of the most epic replays utilizing the Lair of Darkness. Initially, this was the list that I was first testing out, but then I ended up changing it because I started to like tweak a little bit as I played on. As you'll see, like I took out Desire, Prosperity, I took out Rebellion. Let me just show you the most recent list, but this is some of the cards that you saw within the replay that I'm no longer playing. Like this card, I was playing this card as well. Diablos, because I thought it was like, oh, it's a pretty cool thing you can do. They can get out with this guy, but the more I played it, the more I was like, no, it's not necessary. So this is the more recent list that I ended up staying throughout the grind and getting through Diamond all the way to Master. Like this card and this card should have been in here from the very beginning, because like this and this like a little soft lock. It's like, even if you just get to Soul Resonator and you just open with a Gozen, it's like it's like a little soft lock. It's kind of like what the Salad would do, right? They would give you a fire and then lock you under Rivalry or Gozen, right? So it's essentially the same thing. And then there can be only one. Like, yeah, you have a lot of dragons, but you can manage. All you really need once you have your setup going, like if you have Beast, if you have Red Zone, Red Rain, Gaia, like once you establish RDA, you don't really need to be summoning more than one dragon, and then it'll be sufficient until it goes back to you, and then all you have to do is just send it off Bone, you know, because it's a dragon and this is a Fiend, so there can be only one. So like, yeah, so it works. And against Tenpai, these two cards are key because this is a major hindrance for them. Like, for one, they have to get past the Abyss Negate, and they have to get past the Soul Protection. So like Lightning Storm, Duster, Heavy Storm, right? So they're insulated in a way where it's a bit tricky for them to like just straight up get rid of this card. So that's pretty cool. But for the most part, it's just utilizing Lair Darkness in a way where it can present some obscure interactions where they can't really anticipate, right? They how do you? It's like what Rika plants do, yeah. They tribute your stuff so you don't have a chance to respond. It's like kind of like dealing with an Omni without having to be concerned about, oh, are they going to negate it, right? And you just pick the board apart, because usually the way some of the boards are layered is like they have the Omni that protects the spot removal, right? But if you can get rid of the Omni and then force a spot removal like you would do it with Econ, it's pretty insane. Because like ideally, theoretically, what you do is like Lair, Econ, tribute the Omni, take control of the like the Soul of Rage or like the other form of interaction that isn't an Omni, right? That's generally how it goes, and then you send that for bone, right? That's that's ideally what you're meant to be doing. But for the most part, it's just a really obscure interaction to establish as you go on, right? Because that's kind of the point. Because this deck is a very low sequence deck. You can't really break a board with engine, right? So you need to find a way to simplify it, or you need to find a way to like have these obscure board breakers. Like this is essentially a board breaker in the way it functions, right? Like they can't respond, they can't negate it, right? They have to preemptively negate this, and assuming that you're capable of tributing off their Omni, right? And that basically burns an interaction or an Omni, which is good for you because you kind of need to be baiting those interactions so your low sequence deck can go unhindered, right? Because you can't really like go like soul effect, they're gonna negate it, you're just gonna lose, because that's like one of your key starters that you need to resolve. So if you can get rid of an interaction just solely off activating this, and what if you don't even have the econ? So it's like you just baited an interaction for nothing basically. But if it sticks, then and you do have this, it's just you just benefit so much off of it because you just cracked their board, as you saw in the Kashtira game. The Kashtira game, just like insane. Econ alone was just doing so much work, being able to take their Rise Heart, take their Fenrir, like it was just insane. But yeah, that's basically the whole reason for it, because this can search this. That's the only reason you would do it, and because it bridges so well, because this will search you this gets you this, and then within the deck itself, this has synergy because it can search your Bestials, right? And that's pretty cool. And some of the cool things you could do with Bestials is pretty insane, which is why this card is in here. So if just in case you haven't read this card, so basically what this means is all face-up monsters on the field become dark. Once per turn, if you would tribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you can tribute one dark monster your opponent controls, even though you do not control it. So one of the cool little things you can establish is like getting this guy out with Lair, because that means if you have access to your Bestial cards, that means you can use Beast, so you tribute their monster and pop their card. Like that's pretty cool, because there will be a dragon and they meet the criteria, which is something pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's actually pretty interesting, because it's really weird and like in the way, like what other deck can do that? Like there's no other deck can do that. Like tribute to then pop a card, like that's pretty crazy. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Something else that you can do, which makes Baldrake even better, is because they'll control darks. So it's similar case as Beast, right? They'll control darks. So you just tribute one of their monsters and then banish one of their extra deck summons or the ritual summon, which is huge. Like that's pretty huge. Like I think that's pretty crazy. I don't think that the Rebellion works because I think it just says cannot be. Maybe you can send one card from your not to tributing one level 6 or higher dragon monster. Yeah, I'm not sure if this works. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like even if I have the bust, like even if they have like a level 6 or higher monster that is turned into a dragon, I'm not sure if I can do that and tribute them for Rebellion. I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but that'd be cool if you can. In the Tenpai matchup, this makes it so their Sengen summoning doesn't matter, because their field spell only protects fire monsters, but this turns them into dark. So that means every interaction you have can be applied and it'll resolve because they're not protected by the field spell anymore. But yeah, that's the only reason all this kind of works, because of the synergy within Soul being able to search this guy. Otherwise, you wouldn't just like try to turbo this out for this interaction, right? It just wouldn't work. It's only because this can search this, right? And you have so many searches for Soul. You have 3 souls. You have Resonator Call, you have Gaia, you have Foolish. You have Bone himself, because this can send this can search you this, and then this searches this, right? So you get the idea. And because you need to find ways to facilitate the Bestials, because sometimes you don't have a light or dark in the graveyard for these guys, which is why I haven't been a fan of these guys in RDA, just for the simple fact that like if you summon this and this gets stopped, like you're like stuck there, because like even if you do open up Blue Bellion, you pitch it, like you don't have a dark still, like how do you progress? You know, it's you got to banish Blue Bellion itself. You summon a Bestial, but like that's a 3 and 9 that doesn't really get you anywhere. So that's why you need this one, right? Because that means that at the very least you can establish your regain and your beast, because you go, okay, summon this. Well, first off, you activate this, search this, attempt, right? And then now you have a darkened graveyard. So you go Lubellion, search Sarnier, banish the prisoner. You tribute the Sarnier for this. This ends your regained, right? And then this ends your beast. So at the very least, like that's like a pretty decent 2-card combo, right? Like it's not horrible compared to like not having any graveyard setup, which is can be quite an inconvenience. And it's the same thing. This functions the same way, where this gets itself into the graveyard, gives you a dark for the Bestials. So you see how everything becomes cohesive because of how they just send themselves to the graveyard and fuel your grave for the Bestials. And because the searching is so crucial, and it's kind of a hand trap magnet or an interaction magnet that they're gonna ash you, they're gonna Veiler you. So that's where the triple tactics come into play, because if they ash you preemptively on like a Resonator call for some reason, or a Foolish when you try to trigger Soul, you can just draw 2 and hopefully dig deeper into your interactions, or even get to your Lair of Darkness setup, right? Or even just get to your Bestial setup, right? Because even if you just open up like this and this is pretty cool, because then that sets up your Buster Dragon, and it'll get you to a point where you can interact impactful, right? And it'll buy you another turn, and then you gradually gain control of the game, right? That's generally how this deck is meant to function. It's not really like a build-a-board deck. It's more like a mid-range control deck because of the way it's been constructed. But yeah, for the most part, it's just RDA with a Lair of Darkness, which is pretty cool. But that's basically it. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. This one's in here because there are times where you open up these two together and you want to get your Gaia in rotation as fast as possible. So you just go summon special, go into this, right? Search this. This will get you either your red screen or get you your golem, so you have a form of interaction. And then possibly you might have something else like a hand trap or Maxi or Econ or something, you know what I mean? Like it just gives you something to keep you in the game. But yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let's subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.